Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Before we start the session for today, I just want to go ahead and, just want to give you some information. So you will be given access to something which is called as CUET question bank. I've tried to make this question bank a bit more structured as compared to what it was last year. So there will be sections that you will find in this question bank, which will be exactly according to the syllabus. So you will find micro, you will find macro, you will find money and banking, Indian eco, then you will find math, stats, ekdam. As per the structure and the syllabus of CUET, you will go ahead and you will be able to see this question bank. Right? And there will be some recorded questions in this question bank. I think I have already uploaded about 200 plus questions in maths and stats and about 200 questions in Indian eco and some in micro, macro and money and banking. Right. And I will add more questions to it also. So what you are supposed to go ahead and you're supposed to do is you're supposed to start making notes from this question bank. So jitna bhi questions diya hua hai, all questions are in the recorded form. I have recorded each and every question myself. So for example, let's say that there is a question which says that what is the 1991 reform about? Okay. And there are 4 options given to you. And then I have told you what the right option will be. So just after that, I would have given you some explanation about the 1991 reform. इसको मैंने थोड़ा सा समझाया भी होगा. I would have given you some explanation about that topic. So how will you go ahead and how will you prepare it? Keep a separate register. Name that register as question bank series, CUET question bank series. And what you will do is you will write pointers for each question. हर question का कैसे लिखोगे? So suppose the answer to 1990 reforms is liberalization, privatization, globalization. ठीक है? So you will make question number 1 pointer that LPG refers to this, and this. In 1991, the reforms were brought under who was the PM, whatever information I've given you. You will go ahead and you will replicate all that information in your register. एक चीज लिखना है. You have to make sure that you write each and everything down. Right? And you have to do this for all the recorded questions. So if I provide you 1200 recorded questions, you have to do it for each and every question. Right? That is the way that you need to follow this process. So you pick up on one subject, जो भी subject आपको लगता है you are comfortable. Suppose you have done micro thoroughly. So you pick up with microeconomics. You pick up the question bank of micro. जो भी वहाँ questions दिए हैं, you start preparing notes of those questions. Then you move on to the next subject and so on and so forth. Try to go ahead. And no, there is no PDF because I didn't have any PDF. I just had something like this in a printed format in the tab. You have to note everything down. That's the idea of the question bank. Only then it will be easier for you to remember everything. Right? The idea is not to have a downloadable printout and just tick mark things. Usse you will only remember the answer, not the explanation I'm giving you and 100 other things I am telling you. Right? The idea is to listen to the question, listen to the answer and make note of it. That is why it is in the recorded format. And you have to follow this approach if you really want to score very well in the exam. Okay, so what you will be going ahead and doing is, it is September now, right? And I want all of you to go ahead and finish this question bank in a beautiful way by writing each and everything down, revising everything. I want all of you to do it by December. 4 months are more than enough for you to just look at these questions, right? So you pick up on this thing simultaneously. Every day you sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. एक फिक्स टाइम टेबल बना लो that every day from 10 to 10:30 before I sleep I will sit for half an hour, I will make a note of the question bank. I will make, listen to one video and then I will sleep. So I want all of you to start doing this question bank now. And I want you to finish it by December, because here, then we will begin with mock test series of the entire syllabus for CUET also. So I want you to wrap up the question bank before that. Okay. See, even if you target, see, it will depend. So let me tell you. So there are videos in which are say 30 to 40 minutes, and I have just covered 10 questions. And there are videos, say 30 to 40 minutes, in which I have covered 40 questions also. Huh? It is, some are very, very easy. Some are like, who gave indifference curve theory? And then there are options given, Hicks and Allen and Marshall. So the idea is to see that if the entire, if the entire question bank structure, if it is say for, if the total one is for supposedly say 50 hours, say 60 hours. So you just split it. Ki, har roz ka I just want to cover half an hour. I want to cover 1 hour. And in next 60 days, I want to finish it off. See, the two things are different. GATE will be different. CUT will be different. IIT will be different. PYQs you have to do for all the papers you are giving, right? But this is just, I am telling you how to approach this question bank. Of course, you need to do the past year questions of GATE also. That is also coming, IIT also. But this is just how you should approach this one, how you should approach the CUT question, right? But of course, GATE is the first priority. Where is this question bank? So this question bank access will be given to you. It will be, I think it has been created as a separate course, and you will be given its access. Just like you see micro, macro separately on the portal, there will be something called as question bank, and the access will be given to you. Right. So I have already shared everything with the team. Maximum by tomorrow or day after, you will be seeing it on your portal. You will have access to the question bank. Right. And I have already added these questions there. Okay. So this is going to be, believe me, it is going to be very, very useful for all of you. Okay. So I really want that all of you would start doing this now only with me. And usi mein na, you need to, so whatever marathons we are taking, us marathon ko bhi you need to make sure that you cover these questions also. So I don't want to create too much things at different places. So I am thinking that these marathon questions also, I will put it under the question bank only, so that, when you start looking at the questions, you can revise it within those question bank only. So jo bhi hum yahan pe bhi lenge, I will put it under the stats part of the question bank only. For IIT GATE, yes, I am trying to create. I'm not sure how much I would be able to do. I've already started creating for micro and statistics this year, but I haven't created a lot in the recorded format. I'm just posting it. So for stats, I've created 40 questions as of now, and for micro also 40, 50, but not all. Hmm. Discuss the answers in class. Answers discussion would not be required, beta. They are already in the recorded format. All questions have been recorded and explained well. So you will realize that that is very inclusive in itself. You would not need any other explanation for that question. Okay, let's start. So let's start with this. So today I have taken a very, very simple topic. I wanted to simultaneously begin with statistics. And आज का जो हमारा topic है, that is measure of central tendency and variation. Right? Try to pick up on the first question. The mean deviation of score 12, 15, and 18 is. What is the mean deviation of these scores? Go ahead, answer it in the chat window. How do we make formula sheet? So once, no. So once you complete one chapter, just write the formulas and then keep adding it. So just do it chapter wise. Write all for central tendency, then for variance, standard deviation, then for movement, then skewness, then kurtosis. Just keep adding it in the same, in the same formula sheet. So, so see here. So this is what is important to understand. So when we talk about mean deviation, either there is nothing mentioned. So we have done mean deviation around mean also, and mean deviation around median also. If nothing is mentioned, if nothing is mentioned, you will find mean deviation around mean, right? What is the mean? 12 plus 15 plus 18 by 3. 45 by 3, that means 15, right? So how do we find mean deviation? 12 minus 15 in absolute value, 15 minus 15 in absolute value, 18 minus 15 in absolute value, 3, 0, 3. We sum this over 6 divided by number of observation, and answer will be 2. So the correct answer is 2 here. The mean deviation should be 2. Right? Is GATE necessary? Na beta, GATE is not necessary, but I suggest that you give GATE exam. It will be comparatively easier and it will give you admission to IIT. So if possible, just give the exam. Huh? Okay, let's go to the next question now. So quartile deviation is equal to dash standard deviation. These relations are very important. Very, very important relations. Right? So what is the relation between quartile deviation and standard deviation? Anyone? Quartile deviation will be always 2/3 of standard deviation. You need to remember these relations well, that quartile deviation will be 2/3 of the standard deviation. Answer will be A. Let's go to the next question. Try to see this one. It says the variance of 19, 21, 23, 25 and 27 is 8. Variance of 19, 21, 23, 25, 27 इसका variance is given to you as 8. The variance of 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 will be. Okay. So when we go ahead and when we see this thing, why two series of observations are given? Which means that I need to go ahead and somehow create some relationship. So देखो, if I, from the first observation, if I subtract 5, I will get this first observation. If from 27, I will subtract 5, I will get this observation. From 25, I will subtract 5. So, beta, I will get this observation. अब हमें पता है, we know a rule that variance is unaffected by origin. Variance is unaffected by origin. Unaffected by origin means what? Unaffected by origin means that if we go ahead and we add or subtract anything to excise, then the variance will remain unchanged. So here I am subtracting 5 from each of the xi, but variance will remain unchanged. So yes, you're right that the variance will remain 8. कुछ भी add या subtract करने से variance will not change. But variance will be affected by scale. अगर हम किसी कांस्टेंट से मल्टीप्लाई या डिवाइड करेंगे then variance will be affected. Variance will change. So remember this property. Variance is unaffected by origin. Origin से change नहीं होता है, but it is affected by scale. Okay. Come to the next question. Do it quickly, huh? These are very easy questions. The variance is zero if and only if the observations are absolutely. So variance is zero only when all observations are same. So if I create a data set 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, तो इसका mean क्या हो जाएगा? Mean will also be 2. So xi minus x bar whole square will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So variance will also be 0. So you are correct. अगर सारा observation same ही है, तो there is no dispersion from mean. Mean से कुछ भी अलग ही नहीं है. So when there is no dispersion from mean, then the variance will turn out to be 0. Okay. Come to the next question. Which of the following is unit-free quantity? Unit-free means you should not be writing in kilometer, meter, ye sab, wo sab. So it should be unit-free. So absolutely correct. So unit-free is CV, coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation. इसमें कोई भी यूनिट नहीं आता because it's a ratio of mean and standard deviation. रेशियो में आते हैं स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन एंड मीन, राइट? यू हैव अ रेशियो, तो ऊपर भी यूनिट है नीचे भी यूनिट है. व्हेन यू डिवाइड यूनिट बाय यूनिट इट बिकम्स यूनिट फ्री, यूनिटलेस हो जाता है. सो देयरफॉर कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ वेरिएशन इट इज यूनिट फ्री. बट रेंज, रेंज क्या है? मैक्सिमम वैल्यू माइनस मिनिमम वैल्यू. सो अगर मैक्सिमम वैल्यू इज 100 kg एंड मिनिमम वैल्यू इज 80 kg, तो रेंज विल ऑल्सो बी इन kg ना, 20 kg. So range unit free नहीं है. Range has a unit to it. Standard deviation also has unit to it. Mean also has unit to it. But because coefficient of variation ये एक ratio है. This is in ratio. So therefore it is unit free. Correct. So correct answer will be B. It is unit free. ठीक है. Come to the next question. Okay. Tell me this one. Think. The sum of absolute deviation is minimum if deviations are taken from. तो ध्यान से सुन लो. This is tricky and it will come in exam. If we are finding deviations, then this is minimum. It is going to have a minimum value when it is taken from median. And if we are finding summation xi minus a whole square, sum of squared deviation, then it is minimum when taken from mean. So sum of absolute deviation is minimum if taken from median. अगर हम मीडियन से लेंगे तो that will be minimum. And अगर वो बोलता sum of the square of deviations, then it is minimum if taken from mean. So please understand, this will not be mean, this will be median. Remember this, please write this down somewhere. Right? Okay, so correct answer is median. Come to the next question. Try to do this one. ये सब ना, you should know all these formulas. From this only they will ask you, ऐसा कुछ दे देंगे. Suppose they tell you that Q3 is equal to 20, Q1 is equal to 10, then arrange in ascending order. Huh? And then they will give you coefficient of QD. Then they will give you only interquartile deviation. Then they will give you something else, something else. ऐसे करके 4 things they will ask you. And they will ask you कि which is the smallest, which is the highest. Ascending order में उसको arrange करना है. But for that you need to remember all these formulas. कि what is coefficient of quartile deviation? What is just quartile deviation? What is interquartile range? ये सारा formulas you need to remember. Only then you will be able to derive these formulas. Right? So you need to make sure that you remember these formulas. So just try to find this. Okay, see. Good. So what is the formula of coefficient of quartile deviation? Q3 minus Q1 absolutely upon Q3 plus Q1. So 20 minus 10 upon 20 plus 10, 10 by 30, 1 by 3, answer is C. Correct. ठीक है बेटा. Come to the next question. Try to do this one.